I'm with you, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So, hello.
So, hi, Myq. I'm here with Myq Kaplan, who's a big-time vegan and a big-time comedian.
I'm a regular-sized both of those things.
So we're just here in New York, and I saw you at the Walk for Farm Animals Farm Sanctuary last week, I guess it was. This week's been so busy. It's like...
Depending, if you're watching on the internet, it could have been thousands of years ago.
That's true.
I hope you still speak English.
So yeah, so have you been involved with Farm Sanctuary a lot? When did you get involved, and how did you?
That is a good question. I know that I have been getting their emails for some amount of time, and I forget all the different groups. Like, I've done some comedy shows that are benefits for, like, the Woodstock Farm that they've done at Gotham for the past couple of years. And so, like, I never know if there's all these different, like, overlapping groups, and there's, like, Jasmine and our hen house thing that we're going to tonight. And so I feel like everybody goes to everybody's thing, so I'm not sure who I worked with first or where or when.
Right.
But whenever anybody sends me a thing, it's like, hey, we don't need animals. Do you want to do something? And I'll be like, yeah, yes, I will do that for you, non-animal eater.
So when did you start not eating animals and go vegan? Was it all of a sudden vegan, or did you go vegetarian first?
I became a vegetarian when I was about 19 in college. I had thought about it before, but I didn't have, like, the willpower, etc. I didn't try it. And then I got to college, and there were a lot of, all the different kinds of food they had there. Like, they had a lot of varieties that I'd never, a lot of ethnicities and things that I'd never tried. I didn't eat different people of different ethnicities. The food that they cooked. Just the food and flavors and things. But yeah, so I was for about 5 years just vegetarian, and then I was like, it'd be really hard to be a vegan. And I was like, that's what I thought about becoming a vegetarian. So I was like, I guess I'll have to read things and ask questions. Like, those are things that I'm fine doing. I enjoy reading and learning. And annoying people with questions. So I was like, I'll be the perfect vegan. So yeah, about 9 years ago, I became a vegan, and it's about the same time that I started comedy also, I think.
Right.
So it made it hilarious.
It was, but it really is a fusion. Like, you've worked in, you're inspired by life, and
I think,
I make a lot of really great vegans. At our expense, but but it's all very good.
Well, if I was making jokes at everybody else's expense, they would murder us all and eat us. But
that wouldn't be very vegan.
No, not at all. That's what they do.
So
They'd be
no
like,
problem.
Exactly.
Eat us too.
I gotta try to relate to them on some level. Obviously, I think every comedian's job or goal or just sort of mission is to figure out what's important to them and talk about it. And so it's like, I don't set out to be like 10 new vegan jokes this week, but I think about, obviously I eat food most days, so being a vegan is something that I am all the time, and so it's something that I think about for much of that time, and so it comes out through comedy sometimes.
Yeah. And you did a whole album on that too that was really successful.
The whole album is not all about being vegan, but it's
called Vegan.
It's called Vegan Mind Meld.
Right.
But yes, that was actually something people have asked to be like, hey, I feel like a lot of people think that they're like, oh, it's sort of brave of you to put out all this vegan comedy. I'm like, it's just the name of the album that has something to do. Some of the material is based in that, but then some of it's about other, less important things, there's all kinds of varieties. So if you're not a vegan, you're still allowed to enjoy comedy that is created by vegans. And if you need pain to be involved in your comedy, I will gladly punch you in the face while you enjoy my CD. I know there's masochists out there, so enjoy.
And you're just willing to go there.
I want people. Yeah, I want to.
It doesn't sound very vegan to be punching people in the face.
But if they're masochists, but if they
ask for it, then you're just giving people what they want.
If pain causes somebody pleasure, then that's
deny them.
Exactly. Then denying them would actually cause more pain, and that would be less vegan, I think. So I do have that album, and hopefully another album or special or something coming out soon in the next year, a couple years, or thousands of years in the past, depending. And
God who's listening and watching when.
Exactly. I don't know when this is for you, but if I'm dead, then I guess go ahead, and if I died of natural causes, go ahead and eat my body. I was free range, organic, local. You're welcome to do that. Unless I died of some sort of suspicion. If I died of poison, then don't be careful. I guess just be careful. You're in the future. you have more means by which to judge and measure whether you should eat my body, or if I'm still alive, please don't, unless I amend this later. I reserve the right to amend this at any point.
Yes, you do. So I became vegan kind of for the animals.
Oh yeah, we're talking about me a lot. Tell me about you.
No. Well, I did. I mean, when I was young, it was like, I kind of like, when I was like 10 or 11, I was like, I don't think this is right, eating like the flesh of another being. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And I kind of phased in and out of like that idea. And it's like, I look back now and I think, wow, why didn't I stick with that? But, and then, I came back to it eventually. So, but I thought it was so impressive, the little girl at the sanctuary walk.
10-year-old
girl. 10
girl.
years old. And she, like, with such conviction, and to do something that's, like, so out, of the mainstream, with such conviction and out there, and she's, like, doing talks everywhere about what vegan is good, and all that stuff. And it's pretty, and here's the UPS truck.
Loud truck passing by. Edit. I don't know if it'll be edited at all, but one thing though, not to dismiss anything that's great about that little girl, but it is actually, it's way easy. It's like being vegan today is something that's much more like, it's not mainstream, but it's at least more people have heard of it now than did like when you or I
so it's like,
were kids.
Sure, it's easy for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Try to have done that.
Nice
like
one, little
20 years
girl.
ago.
Yeah, maybe try being something that we've never heard of, and then we'll give you some more props. No, that girl's great, but I mean,
we hate her.
Yeah, stupid girl. Yeah, who cares? She doesn't know anything. Today, people are, they still always ask me, like, how isn't it really difficult being a vegan? I'm like, yeah, I have to make it from my house to like one of dozens or hundreds of, I don't even know how many vegan restaurants there are, or vegetarian, or like, and especially that's in New York, the East Coast, compared to like the West Coast. It's like, I feel like I've been in restaurants on the West Coast now that are like, we're not all vegan, but we talk to all the cows and they're fine with our taking some milk friendly like, and there's like places that are like, like free range, like local, organic, just health conscious, earth conscious. Like it's such a, obviously, being green, like all of a sudden today, is like this big, like, oh wow, maybe it's important now, maybe then let's make it cool to be whatever it is, but not, obviously still the mainstream is like gay, whatever they're doing.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, so I think it's still, obviously it takes a little doing, like, but it can be done, certainly. If you're lazy and not a vegan, you can probably, I was actually talking to a friend about this, who's like, she's like a super hard worker, like she's a writer, freelance, and does tons of, puts so much time into her passion and her art and her work and her craft, and she's like, I'm just so lazy about food. I'm like, it'd be, all you have to do is just turn your brain, be like, there's things that you work for, there's things that are important to you, and it's just a matter, people don't think about it today because, you don't just go to the butcher and see animals hanging in the thing. You don't hunt your own food. You don't, most people don't farm their own stuff. Like, the majority of people are just so removed from it that just to even think about it, most people will be like, yeah, probably it's bad what's going on. But like, no, I don't want to think about it. So start thinking, everybody. I don't know if we're preaching to the choir or if we're trying to convert other choirs.
I don't know if this is going to people, like, who knows who's going to, and they could be in the future, and I don't know. Time travel, they could be in the past.
Yeah, if this is going out to people in the future and society's already fixed all of its problems, then I guess this is just sort of like a relic of a time when things were no good. So enjoy the time capsule, everybody.
Well, so there's progress, definitely, having been made. I was watching E! News the other night, and they had a little feature on Zooey Deschanel.
Okay.
Because she's an ex-vegan now. And I was like, how dare she go ex-vegan?
Sure,
Sounds like, a comic strip, ex-vegan, X-Men,
it does.
It's
like the super-powered, she couldn't help it. She's a mutant, and her, just her ex-veganness came out of her, and, like, we shouldn't discriminate. Like, we're not going to fight her.
I've just totally digressed.
No, it's not a problem at all. This interview is over.
It's about you, it's about me, now it's about Zooey Deschanel.
It is. I didn't do all the reading necessary to research my Zooey Deschanel.
No,
I don't even know if it's Zoe or Zooey, you know what I mean? It's spelled so weird. Get a normal spelling name, okay? My name is also,
Myq with the MYQ. Do you know how long it took me to find you, like on Twitter?
I do not
I was
know.
like, all these different ways. It's an MIG. I don't understand. I remember it's 3 letters, but there was a Y in there. I don't understand what's going on. Is this your birth name?
Not at all.
Or you just decided to be difficult?
I decided when I was, it was right after Prince changed his name to a weird symbol when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, that guy's weird. I'll be weird. And then Prince changed back, and I was like, now I'm the only one that's weird. Oh man, Prince, you left me hanging. So now it's basically, if you know how to say it and spell it, it's easier to find me than, if you were just looking for Myq Kaplan, because there's like probably thousands of people named Myq Kaplan out there. So once it gets into your brain, then hopefully it stays. But I totally apologize for all the trouble you had and anybody else out there.
Well, thanks.
Let's have it written somewhere on this thing so people.
Yeah, we'll get a little watermark or something. Looks
right in here, right? Fit it right here, right over, right in my anywhere.
So this is great, Myq.
It is.
So nice to talk to you. So what's up for you? Have another project coming up, or what's the? You did Last Comic Standing though. Before we end, I have to congratulate you. You were awesome.
It. You
you're
do
hilarious
have to congratulate
too.
me.
At the
Thank you.
Farm Sanctuary, you were hilarious.
I am funny both on that and that. I appreciate it.
You were like amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I mean that was about a little over a year ago that happened, and I've done a few other things since, and more things to come. Nothing. I will have. I just did Letterman last week, and then I've got a Craig Ferguson late show that'll be coming out sometime in the near future. I don't know exactly when, but and then I have a CD out that we've already discussed, and then I'm going to be recording a new CD of music and comedy.
You do music?
I do. I started out as a musician.
Really?
And so I have a friend that I play music with, and we write funny songs, and we're in Boston in December 13th through 15th at Improv Boston and the Comedy Studio. We'll be recording a combination live and studio album.
That's so fun. I love like the singing comedy. Do you know Flight of the Conchords?
Oh, they're the best, yeah.
I love them.
We're just like them, but
better.
But in a way that's different or better. Yeah, some way that's unique, so that we're not Australian, and when we do different stuff.
You don't put on accents?
Oh yeah, we actually do. So that's the same. No, we don't. No, we're fans of them. We're two guys with a guitar, and we sing, and so the comparisons are necessary, I suppose.
Soon you'll have an HBO show.
That's the goal. That's we'll have anything
yours will
is
run
necessary.
3 seasons because theirs only went 2.
That's all we're looking to do, is just do something better than everyone else. All we want to do is win, is defeat all others at music, comedy, combat, and so if you're in the Boston area, we're going to be there recording shows, and you should come to them. And if you're in the past, if you're in the future and it's the past, get in your time machine, go back to December 13th or 14th or 15th,
what year?
2011, and we'll see you there at that thing. And if you go to my website with mynameweird.com, I should get that. I should get mynameweird.com. I really should.
I wonder if it's available. We should Google it now.
Yeah, nobody steal it before I check. And MyQKaplan.com has my dates and my CD and all sorts of other things. So thanks, and also Facebook or Twitter or wherever you are on your computer. Anything that's invented in the future, I'm sure I'll be there too. Teleporter.com/Myq Kaplan. Thanks. I think I have to run to this place that you're also going to.
Me too.
Okay,
Me too.
well
And I hope I didn't keep you too much longer.
Well, if we get there and I've missed my spot, then we'll know it was too long. So goodbye, computer.
Thank you, Myq.
Thank you.
It was awesome.